Thanks for having me out today, Leslie and John. I want to go over the scope of work for you. This first one is going to be the repair scope of work, and then we'll go over the full replacement scope of work on the house. Starting up here in this right-hand gable, we're going to be installing shake Hardie shingle for the repair scope of work. Doing the lap siding underneath the shingle. We'll put a 1x6 band board here across the where the window edge is right there. So top of the window will be a band board going all the way across, and then we'll have lap siding here, and then we'll have the shake shingle at the top and Hardie plank, lap siding on this side, and in the repair scope of work, we'll leave your existing trim, with the exception of the trim that looks like it needs to be replaced or repaired because it's rotting. So you've got a little bit of damage down here in the corners where they made the trim. They installed it wrong because they put the trim on top of the board instead of running the side trims all the way down the sides for water drainage. And then in the repair scope of work, we're also going to be including all painting as well of the whole house. So everything except for the bricks. So your garage doors, your front door, back doors, all those will be painted, as well as the trim that we're leaving, the soffits and the fascias will all be painted with both scopes of work. These boards for the scope work for the repair will be replaced between 6 and 8 feet up, wherever it needs to be repaired to make it look great. The window trim will stay on the repair scope of work on these windows. This window trim around this area right here in the brick looks great. We'll need to, of course, seal it around and paint the trim, and we're going to be painting all the soffit and fascia here. We won't need to remove your gutter. It can stay. We can even paint your gutter if you'd like to match the house, or a trim color. Probably do like a fascia trim color or all one color like you have currently. So all this siding will be repaired from here over to the front door, and this little pocket that's right here, any areas that need to be repaired will also be repaired with the James Hardie Cedar Mill Select siding to match up as close as possible to the current grain that you have on your laps. During the repair, the only trim that needs to be replaced are the inside and outside corners. And more specifically the outside corners, like here on this side where the brick hits, because it is actually overlaying your existing siding. So we need to take that off, get to the siding, and put new trim up where that is, and that will be done with James Hardie trim that will be the same width and thickness as what you currently have. Here on the left side of the house, we've got several more repairs. Looks like there needs to be a couple repairs up here in this top gable area. And then down here is a more major part. We've got this that was already repaired with James Hardie Cedar Mill Select board. We need to bring it on up several boards, and we'll say around halfway of the wall here, wherever the boards lack integrity, we'll take those down and repair them with James Hardie siding that matches the exact same profile. The grain will be a little bit different, but the profile will be just the same, and the grain that we're going to choose in Cedar Mill Select grain will be the closest to what you have for the best match possible. In the back of the house, we've got more repairs for the repair scope of work down here at the bottom of the edges. And then you come on over to this side of the house, and we've got some repairs on the masonite that need to happen toward the bottom. And then up here in this little gable area, right here where the water runs down off the roof, we need to take all these planks off that go over to that window trim and next to your arbor that's attached to the house, and redo those, because anywhere that the Hardie plank touches the roof right there needs to have a 1-inch clearance where you see flashing there, and not the Hardie plank or any kind of siding butting exactly right against the shingle. So in this area, we'll take those planks off, make sure it has that 1-inch clearance, and that flashing will be painted the same color as the wall, so it's not going to stick out like a sore thumb. Also, anywhere around the house, even on this like right-hand side over here, or the left-hand side really if you're facing the front of the house, and over here on the right-hand side if you're facing the front of the house, it's going to have flashing that we're going to bend to cover up that bottom piece. It's called a water table, and it's a little piece of trim that they put next to the brick to dye the siding into. We'll cover that in trim is in coil stock in flashing, and then paint that as well, so that it'll stay maintenance free for a good maintenance free experience. Here on the right side of the house, I want to propose that we tear everything off even in the repair scope of work because of these extreme bows in the wall. This siding is nailed on, they put a felt paper up, and then they put the siding right to the studs. I'd like to take this siding off over here, put up a 7/16 OSB oriented strand, and then put Tyvek moisture barrier up, and then put Hardie trim and Hardie siding on this whole wall here. So we'll take care of the trim around the windows and the corners on this one for the repair, so that it all can look really consistent and fluent with the house. So this is the only wall that I propose on the repair project and section that we take off and totally redo. This section right here we can repair and put new flashing on against the roof and leave a 1-inch clearance there, and then paint all that as well. Soffit and fascia, same scope of work. We'll just be leaving it, making any necessary repairs, and coating it as well. On the chimney, we're going to, on the repair and the full replacement, we're just going to take all that off and retrim the whole thing, because it's really deteriorating, and usually chimneys are the first thing that starts people's projects anyway. So we'll reflash it down toward the roof here, and then retrim, and then reside the entire chimney, as well as paint the chimney cap and the chimney. Any wires that you want hidden, just let me know, and we can hide them behind the siding and have them come out by the satellite dish. There's some wires running over the doors over here. We can have those hidden as well, so they won't be showing anymore. And even in this corner right here, we can hide those and just have them coming out at the top up here and going right into the soffit. So here's the scope of work for the full replacement. The scope of work at the front of the house would look exactly the same. We would be tearing this down, going up with 7/16 OSB, going up with the lap siding and the shake shingles above the window area right here. This would be a lap siding on either side of the window, as well as this little pocket right there on the right side. The garage doors would be painted and coated. And then we're going to come around the side here, and all of this will be torn off. 7/16 OSB will go up, Tyvek moisture barrier will go on the wall, all new Hardie trim and all new Hardie siding. The lap siding that we would use is an 8 1/4 cedar mill select, so you'll see 7 inches of it, and that's going to most closely match what you have existing for a great look. All of this trim around the windows here would be replaced with Hardie trim, so it'll all be fiber cement. And we would take your storm door off, put the Hardie trim on, reinstall the storm door over the existing Hardie trim. So every bit of the trim on your home will be Hardie plank, with the exception of the freeze board that's right next to the brick areas on the soffits. The other full replacement would not include the soffits. It's not necessary for you guys to replace your soffits. It'll save you a lot of money, and your soffits really look good too. On the full replacement also, what we would do is take your fascias. The fascia boards that are on the house right now are 3/4 inch thick, maybe closer to the 5/8 mark. So we take those off, as well as that little drip board up there, which is right next to the shingle, that 1x2, and replace both of those with Hardie fascia and Hardie drip board in every area except for where the gutters are. And the gutters will stay, the fascia and the drip board behind it will stay, and then we'll paint everything on the house. Here on the left side of the house with the full replacement, we'd be taking all the siding off down here, putting up 7/16 OSB, new trim around the windows and the corners. So every piece of trim on your house, with the exception of the freeze board on the brick, will be Hardie plank trim. And then we'll be going up with this 1/2 inch OSB, the 7/16, and then putting up the Tyvek moisture barrier, and then putting up the Hardie plank siding and the Hardie plank trim. And actually that'll go the other way around. We'll put the trim on first and then put the siding on, because of how we like to do the butt-to application, where the plank butts up right next to the trim. On the back for the full replacement, we'd be taking off all the siding and all the trim, even the round top trim, replacing that in Hardie trim, and then doing 7/16 OSB on the wall, Tyvek moisture barrier, the trim, and then the siding, the lap siding butt up against the trim. The arbor area right here, this can actually stay attached to the wall, and we can work around that arbor right there above the windows. All the window trim will be replaced though, and then same scope of work with this board on the bottom, that water table, that will be wrapped in flashing even if we replace the whole thing, just to make it maintenance free, because it needs to stay because of the way they built the brick ledge. All your windows and doors, with the exception of the round top will get a special adhesive flashing. The rest of the windows and doors will get a Z flashing that will go over them and protect them from water infiltration above the windows and the doors. Same back here, you're going to have fascia replacement with James Hardie. Every area that the gutter's not, as well as the 1x2 drip board that's right next to the shingle, that will be James Hardie trim as well. And here on the right side of the house for the floor replacement, we're going to be tearing off all the siding just like we would on the repair for this wall. This is pretty much going to look the same as on the scope of work for the repair or the replace. Because of these extreme bows, we need to replace this whole wall right here. There's no way to really fix that and make it look good. Nothing that I'd be really comfortable with anyways, and get the waviness out of it. This will be all tore off and replaced. And then the chimney, all that trim will be taken off, and same scope of work. We're going to take all the siding and the trim off and replace it with James Hardie. Same thing, the fascia where you do not have gutters will be replaced with Hardie plank fascia, and then the drip board will as well. Any wires can be hidden. Any vents that you need that need to be new, we'll replace those as well. Like this little dryer vent right here, we'll replace that. That's with the practice. Any lights that you have on the house, get the lights and we'll put them up if you want new lights up. Any kind of floodlights, even if they're on a brick somewhere, just get them up. Get them for us, and we'll put them up. And if you don't want to get new lights, then we'll put your old lights back on if they're in good shape, and reinstall those on the house. The electrical boxes, I'll actually have a certified electrician come and take the boxes off, put the Hardie plank behind it, and then put them back on. And that's for both scopes of work, the replacement or the repair or the complete replacement. We'll have the electrician come and take the boxes off so we can put the siding on real nice, even with the shut off for the AC right here and that second one over there. We'll have them take that off. Your satellite dish will come off. We'll reinstall it, but you'll probably need to have DirecTV come out and realign it after we're done, but we'll re-anchor it to the wall after we're done painting everything. So thank you guys again for the opportunity to serve you with this proposal. And I would love to take care of your project for you. It'll look absolutely wonderful with that shingle on the top over there, and you've got a great design with some great pitches on the house, and it'll look really wonderful with James Hardie siding on it. So thank you guys once again, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.